Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. It's Sunday afternoon. It's cold, it's chilly, it's raining here in Minnesota. I hope wherever you are, it's a whole lot better. I have been following Meri Brown the last few days because she had made a post about facing her fears, and we had a lot of you guys thinking, oh, she's left Cody. Well, Meri has been making these types of vague posts for a very long time, so it's always hard to know what's true and what's real. And as long as the show's on the air, it makes it seem as though these two are still together. We know that Cody ran into her place of business while she was doing the live stream, which was in her home for her LLR clothing. And since then, she posts this post about facing her fears and, doing things. And then she didn't have her wedding ring on, which, by the way, you guys, she never wears a wedding ring. So that's not an indication of anything. So there has been questions that, oh, you're finally leaving, and fans keep asking about it and keep asking about it. But one thing that we can say with certainty today is that she has made a business decision. So what happened is Meri obviously has her LLR products that she sells through her live videos on Facebook, and then she also has her bed and breakfast that she purchased a few years ago. If you remember, this was actually a storyline from Sister Wives where she had asked the family for a loan to put down money on this property in Utah. She had actually told the family that she wanted to purchase this home separately, and at one point during her purchase of it, she had discussed the potential of living there at some time if things in her family situation changed. Well, she hasn't been living in Utah, but she has been running this as a business, and her mom has been the person behind the scenes, or she's been the hostess with the mostest. Meri's mom and her staff are there daily making sure that guests are taken care of and fed. And this bed and breakfast actually gets really good ratings and has won awards. So they seem to have a really well-oiled machine here. Unfortunately, with the state of the world right now, it has put a humongous wrench in the plans of this business, and it sounds like this could turn things upside down. Sadly, there's so much of this going on in the world with so many people losing their jobs and so many businesses going under, and it's sad to think that this could potentially happen to this incredibly cute business. But here's what she wrote on Instagram. Over the past weeks and months during the current situation, I've kept a close eye on the Utah guidelines for travel recommendations and possible restrictions for closures in the hospitality industry. At this time, as things are loosening up a bit, I've been putting some deep thought into how to move forward with my B&B. In the interest and safety of my staff, and in particular, my sweet mom, who is graciously and lovingly welcomes all of our guests on a daily basis, as well as the local southern Utah community, we will not be accepting any more bookings until further notice. We also are not conducting any tours at this time, and I feel it's my duty, in part, in limiting the potential spread of the current situation, and I can't in good conscience continue to keep the inn open at this time. As a small family-run inn, I appreciate all of your continued kindness and support. Thank you for your patience during these unprecedented times. The inn and staff miss the guests that keep our home so lively, and we look forward to when we can we can all commune safely together again. And that is her Lizzie Heritage Inn. This inn has been doing really well for her. They charge anywhere from, I think, $150 to a couple $100 a night, and she's been promoting it and cross-promoting it on her. She uses her Facebook and LLR page where she sells her clothing, and she also cross-promotes this inn. Obviously, with her having Sister Wives fame, it's a place where a lot of people like to go to get sort of an inside peek into what, Meri Brown's life would look like. Even though she doesn't live there, it has a deep history in her polygamous family. So when people started asking her about this, she said, I wanted to come in the fall. And she said, there's been no decision yet on how long we will have to stay closed. Follow us for all updates. So it sounds as though right now this is a completely indefinite closing, which for a business that has mortgages and has expenses, that means I'm guessing that staff will be without paychecks. Staff will be maybe laid off. her mom outside of a job. And then this person asked, are you closing forever or only just a couple weeks? And she said, we have been open for essential travelers only. But unfortunately, with things starting to open up, we are finding that people are not taking precautions when traveling. So to keep my mom and my staff safe, I made this decision to shut down temporarily. Follow us on Lizzie's Heritage Inn for all the updates. So there's been a large opening in the wider communities. And I will say, with what I'm seeing where I live, I can understand why she would make this decision. I noticed when I was out only today how aloof people were acting, as though things were back to normal and that we don't need to necessarily be as cautious as we once were, even though in some states the growing number of cases climbs. Utah, I don't know how they've been doing with everything, but her mother is of an age where she would be at a considered high risk for this specific issue. So I can understand her wanting to protect her mother. Meri is in her 50s, and I'm guessing her mom is probably in her 70s or 80s. Anyone in their 70s or 80s fall into that category that need to be protected. So Meri's actually being a very good daughter here. Meri has a very close relationship with her mother and her family, away from Cody and Robin. If you follow her Instagram, you'll know that not long ago she actually had a sort of a family reunion with her on her mother's side, where they had some aunts and some of her siblings. They all were at the inn, and they had like a week together, and they did family time. And so she was sharing photos of them cooking together and eating together and playing with the kids and playing games. So it's definitely seemed to be sort of this safe haven for her to go back to. And when she purchased it on the show all those years ago, she did talk about that as, you know, a factor of like always having a place that she can go to if she needs to, if something happens. I can't imagine how difficult this is and how difficult it is for any business owner that has to make this decision right now. So many people all across the world are dealing with unemployment, and it's scary because you don't know if things are going to change. There's no indication of when this is going to end. We know at some point we all have to get back to like life, but we also know that there's this thing out there that we have no way to prevent. And until there's something that can help prevent that, there's not a whole lot we can do except for maintaining social distancing and making sure that we stay safe with all of the recommendations by the organizations that tell us how to take care of ourselves, right? Like the CDC. So I can totally see the reluctance here, and I can also understand why she needs to do it. And I can also get this sense that I got a sense of like somberness and sadness from this post of just, you know, not necessarily wanting to do this, but knowing she has to do this. So say what you want about Meri, whether you like her or you hate her. I think she's making a good choice for her mom. Clearly she loves her mother and wants the best for her and doesn't want anything to happen. And she's clearly thinking about her staff as well and keeping them safe. It is sad that, you know, as we open up, people aren't maybe taking things as seriously as they need to. And, you know, when you're in a high-risk population, that can make things tricky. So sad for Meri. She seems to continue to be moving on with her LLR business. Now, a lot of people were speculating that she was maybe leaving LLR because she had changed her Instagram handle from LuLaRoe. It was like Meri Brown LLR or something like that, or LLR of Meri Brown. And she changed it to the real Meri Brown. Well, someone in my comments said that the company as a whole made the decision as a company that people that sell the products anymore, they are not allowed to have the business in their name on social media. So they have to have it. This was, again, according to my subscriber that left a comment, said that it was a company-wide decision that representatives or consultants that were selling had to go by their regular names and not use LLR on social media. So I don't know really what's going on with LLR. The health of that company has not been good for a long time. I hope that Meri has a game plan for moving forward. I love the comments you guys leave because I feel like you leave really encouraging comments to people. And someone said, I wish she would just open her own boutique. I feel like she would be really successful, like selling maybe more modest wear, kind of like LLR. The benefit of having using the company like that is that she kind of cuts out the ability to having to pick styles. When you use a company like them, they basically just send you the inventory. You can pick what you want to a point, but you don't really have say of prints and that kind of stuff. So having your own boutique would be a little bit more work, but she would have a lot more autonomy, and she wouldn't have the risk of anything that happens if something happens to wider company affecting her long-term future. That's the risky part of these ventures. So I hope the best for her, and I hope this isn't permanent. I really hope her company can survive. A lot of companies have shut down, and then they just have not been able to rebound, and they've had to permanently close. I really hope that doesn't happen to her, because I know this is something that she's really loved and enjoyed, and it's been something that she's had for herself. So let me know what your thoughts are about Lizzie's temporarily shutting down in the comments below. Bye, guys.